Good evening, Chathu. It's not really the evening yet, though you could kind of call it that. 4:30. It's basically the evening. It's probably not the best of me to be. I suppose it's more maybe something that we as humans shouldn't be doing is inhaling liquid to drink it. I just noticed that there's a dangerously fine line between just like drinking and inhaling water. And if you don't close your throat while inhaling it, if you don't sort of keep in mind how much water you're drinking, you can very easily just inhale it, as I almost did just now, even though it was coffee, not water. But you know, it's all the same thing. I hate that the top of I hate that the top of the chat window has little moving things. It cycles between, what is this? Sub for enchanted big boy boxes. I don't think I will. I hate that at the top of the chat window it says give to subscription, share your way to the top, and give to subscription. It just cycles between them endlessly. I think if someone does anything, then those change to like maybe the top people who have done things. I don't know. But I can't get rid of it, and I don't like it. It's like really annoying. Well, really annoying is a strong word, but I don't like it. When I'm looking at the screen, I just see this thing moving in the corner. And especially with the way that, you know, the chat window is very often stationary. It's very annoying to have that just moving in the corner of my eye and not know whether or not it's someone sending a message or if it's, as I said, just that thing flipping between different what's it called? Headers, I guess. I can't get rid of it. I mean, it's probably I could do like I could probably do the right click inspect and delete it, but I'd have to do that every time I load the page up, and I'm not doing that. It's just a waste of everyone's time, especially mine. In fact, it's only mine. No one else's time gets wasted by that. Today I will be playing a different game to the one that I was playing last stream. Because I found that last stream, I was getting a little bit bored of Iron Nest. It was, you know, it's fine. I like the game, but I'm getting a bit bored of it. It's the same thing every level, with minor differences, you know. We have spotters here. We know that you're there. The enemy is here at this location. You know, this many kilometers from spotter 1. This bearing from spotter 2, and it's just the same thing. The one level that I had to do it without the spotters was fun, a little bit. And I like it. I like the game. I've got nothing against the game, and I may go back and play more of it. I don't think I'm done with it. I could say that about basically any game that I've played. I probably said that about Celeste, and you know, here we are. So yeah, today I'm going to be playing So We Have an Orc Problem, which is a tower defense game, which came out. I wanted to say last week, but it definitely didn't come out last week. It's been a little bit since I intended to play this. It has been almost a month. Time sure does fly when you're doing absolutely nothing. So We Have an Orc Problem it's basically a tower defense, but with fluid mechanics. Which is I don't think a sentence that I was ever going to say. That's over. Oh, not peen inspection day. Not again. We just had one. They come round to your house and they say, "Have you got a foreskin license?" And they, they check, and if you've got one, then you have to pay the fee. I hate living in the UK. I think we should. Nah, it's getting it's too political for start of the stream. I'm not going to say that. But just know it involved Tommy Robinson. Yeah. Hi, Silver. I don't think I'm soggy. Though unrelated, it did actually rain yesterday. It might rain today. It was exciting. Because it's been like really hot for the past like 2 months. There's not been any rain. England looks like the Sahara Desert at the moment. But there is grass outside the house. You know what? I don't usually do this, but I'll treat you. Hello, it's me. End of spread. Don't know if you've heard of me. Creator of that Bubsy video. There's grass outside, and it's green. The grass outside is green now. It's not like vibrant. What is going on outside? There's a feral child and a man standing outside. Oh, they're putting together a little football goal, it seems. How dare they? That's public use land. You can't do that. Stop that. You got a permit for that? Put that away. I'm a member of the neighborhood watch. I'll have you know. Don't ignore me. I'll be telling the local constabulary about that. But yeah, there's it's cold. It's like cold today. It's not. It's not cold, but it's cold, you know. Cold compared to 35 degrees cold. Like, I saw people out and about wearing jumpers. They were wearing jumpers and shorts, but they were still wearing jumpers. So it's like a true British summer now. Hi Zombie, hi Maya. Glory to Bread Corp. Bread Corp is under attack by orcs, and we, as the Bread Corp's Orc Extermination Corporation, it's a sub corporation, have to defend Bread Corp as well as basically everyone from a literal flood of orcs. Fish Freak, why were you green for a second? What was that about? Game want to attach himself to a golden throne like the Emperor of Meankind, so no eventual power vacuum will start upon his death. I think you don't understand the world of 40k if you think that no power vacuum will happen. I think that's the whole point of the Imperium, is it's just one big power vacuum. In fact, what would happen is that this is going into 40k lore, which I don't know much about. But what would happen? What for Gaiman to be the emperor? What would happen is the exact opposite. So if you don't want it to become like a private equity group owned and operated like mega corporation, you actually don't want him to be on the throne, because the problem is that when the emperor gets the emperor is like, there are no gods, there are no men. He was like Richard Dawkins or whatever, Charles Darwin. No gods, no magic, no worship. I'm not a god. But the moment that he got put on the golden throne, everyone started worshiping him like a god. And because he was dead, he couldn't stand up and say no and slap him. So that's what happened, basically. Are there any plugins out there for Twitch that allow you to have your name change randomly? I think it's for the best that you don't know much about 40k. I think it's best. I think it's for the best. I think no sane person learns about 40k. How does that affect private equity? What do you mean? Well, because Gaben's all about like keeping it in his, like, he wants to keep it in his control. But the moment, and everyone around him is saying that, but the moment that he gets put on the golden throne, everyone will be like, no, we need to have private equity. We need a buyout. We need a leveraged buyout of Steam, is what I'm trying to say. Blackstone, or I think, is that what it's called? I think it's Blackstone, or maybe it is Blackwatch, but I think Blackwatch was the mercenary group. Blackstone needs to do a leveraged buyout of Steam where it takes like billions of dollars in debt and then shovels it onto Steam to make Steam better for everyone else. Blackfish. I think BlackRock is a location in World of Warcraft. I know that much. But I think it is BlackRock is the equity group. Yeah, it is. It's an asset company holding over $15.3 trillion in assets. That's about $15.3 trillion more than Breadcorp has. The CEO is Larry Fink. Right, cooks. They are ruined me mum's fish and chip shop. Yeah, I hated that. I hated how BlackRock went around doing leverage buyouts on every single local little tiny store here and there. I don't even know how they keep getting away with it at this point. It's financial terrorism. I only know of BlackRock, so no, that's Blackwater. No, Blackwatch. What's Blackwater? Blackwatch. Yeah, no, wait. No, Blackwatch is a famous Scottish infantry regiment in the British Army, first formed in the 1720s to police the Highlands. It's also the name of a popular dark-patterned tartan, a multi-award-winning theatrical play, and a fictional covert operations group in the video game Overwatch. Okay. Then wait, and who was the guys that made who was the mercenary group? Was that Blackstone? Black No, no, wait, no, that's another asset manager. Blackstone is the world's number one alternative asset manager with more than 1.3 trillion. Why have they all got black in their name? Also, Blackstone is, I think that's another Warhammer thing. I didn't deem the Scots English. That was the AI. I mean, terrorists. The Scottish aren't English. They're Scottish. Or it was Visferit doing that. Unless it was Visferit. Visferit is the one that says that and not me. Why is it? I can't remember what the mercenary group is. You think there used to be one company? Why do you know so much? You're spending all your time watching videos on asset management groups. Maybe you don't know. You can't fucking answer. You can't have this information and not know where it came from. I refuse to believe you don't know. Anyway, I can't remember why we were talking about that. I've got no clue as to where that came from. You know what? It was Gabe's fault. Gabe was the one doing it. Gabe was doing this. You did work experience at an asset management company as an IT guy. That's close enough. I did work experience at a charity shop when I was 12. It was a charity shop that my dad ran, so I didn't really have to do anything. So it wasn't really work experience. I worked on the tills for about 3 hours, and then they told me to go into the office and count coins. So I can't remember how old I was. It wouldn't have been 12. When would it have been? Because it wouldn't have been year 7, and it wouldn't have been year 8. So that does rule out 11 and 12 and around 13. I was probably about 14 or 15. It was probably about 14 or 15. Most people, like the whole point was that you had to do it was work experience, and so the whole thing was that you had to go and you worked in a place for a week. This was just all part of the because I didn't like school, and I didn't pay attention, and I was just as, if not more, awkward and miserable back then as I am now. And so when it came to doing work experience, I never considered what I wanted to actually do for work experience. So I just went with what my dad was doing, you know. I just went and helped out at the charity shop, which I'd already kind of done before, though I never did anything on the tills. At most, it may have been just. Actually, no, I never did. No, I used to. If ever when I had to go there before I was allowed to stay at home on my own, I would just go into my dad's office, and he'd find a CRT TV, put it on a table in there. This was a tiny office, about the same size as the room I'm in now. He'd just put a CRT on something, and I'd bring my GameCube in and just play games all day. So, can I remember? Do you want to see the door bite? All right, here you go. But yeah. So I everyone did actual jobs. I had a friend that went to a a computer place shop somewhere. I don't know where it was, but he went to a computer shop and built computers for a week. And we all made fun. Well, I say we all. I made fun of him when he built his first computer, because unlike me, who just bought my first computer, he built his computer, and I remember him being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take all the parts to the computer shop and I'll build it there because I know the guy or whatever because it's like a dust-free environment." And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean a dust-free environment? You're building a computer, not the microprocessor." So what do you mean? I opened my computer and like touch the fucking circuit board while it's turned on, and he's like, "Oh, I can't get dust on it." But yeah, I did get a checkup from, well, it wasn't a teacher, it was the careers advice teacher woman who just lived in an office, and the only time you saw her is when you did careers advice things. Of which she gave me none. She may have given me some, I'll be honest, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So she could have given me like first class access tickets to go to Oxford, and I probably still wouldn't have taken them. She could have given me first ass. She was a nice old lady though, like, because she wasn't an actual teacher, so of course she was going to be a nice old lady because she wasn't a teacher. She didn't have to deal with kids being kids, and she only had to deal with like the older children. Someone did work experience at an IT cafe, and they had someone watching porn on the PCs. If you're gonna run an IT cafe, don't judge people for what they're doing on the PCs. They might not be able to do it anywhere else. Someone decided to take a plane to another country during their work experience. What do you mean? Are we talking about like, age 15 work experience? Did they have to go on a business trip? They went to a guy and said, "Excuse me, can I do work experience with you?" And they said, "Sure. However, we are going on a business trip next week. Is that all right?" That sounds like something that shouldn't be done. They did work experience at an airport and they stowed away on a plane to another country. That sounds like a crime. I was going to say, like, did you go to like a bougie private school? Which I can't rule out, considering that you're from the South. But now it just sounds like there was just a little hoodlum. I was gonna say like my school. I've mentioned a lot. I mentioned it a few times in the past that we had a Japanese exchange program, and one year, I don't know if it happened how often this thing happened, but one year before I got there, I think it was my sister's year, maybe the year before that. Um, one of the kids, one of the guys, yeah, one of the kids went over there, and the family he was staying with took him to a mixed bath where everyone gets in it together naked. And after that, the school was like, "You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that." That's not why I'm a weeaboo. I was a weeb before that, and I didn't get to go on the trip because I don't live it. I wasn't a middle class and up child. That, and there are other reasons why I wouldn't have been able to go on it that I'll explain to you when you're older. But no, I was my school had like a fairly decent split of poor kids to bourgeois kids, and you could tell the difference when it was record of achievement. Because on record of achievement, all the fucking bougie kids came to school where it came to the event wearing their like 3-piece tailored tuxedos and shit, and like gowns that they've bought specifically for this, and then everyone else just came in their school uniform. Their school uniform or just like a basic shirt and tie. No, There was nothing as such as that. No crimes were committed. But, you know, I got to see the Japanese child that came to our school. Well, one of them walked around, gave us all 5 yen. We milked him dry, we did. Well, I don't know why they did that. No, they didn't bite. I didn't get to see him because, like, they call it a Japanese exchange thing, but all it is just rich people sending their kids to the other side of the world for a free holiday. It's not free, but you know what I mean, like a toured holiday. Because like the kids, the Japanese children came over to our school, and they spent like a day in our school, but they didn't spend that like in lesson or whatever. No. And they just walked around. They came into each if your form had an exchange student in it, then that child would come into the form group, the bit at the beginning where you're doing like the register and everything. They would come in, they walked around, they handed everyone 5 yen, and everyone went, arigato gozaimasu. And then they pissed off somewhere and just like spent the day walking around the school as a group. And then for the rest of their time in the UK, they just walked around local tourist attractions, which, might I say, was nothing. They went to a wind turbine. It's like, I got wind turbines there. They went to like local museums and shit, and like then the our students then follow them back home to Japan, I think to Toyota, and then they probably just did the same thing over there. So it's like it's not really a Japanese exchange program, is it? It's just a group of 20 kids went on a holiday, and you know they were rich, so they could do that. You don't need foreign exchange because you have diversity. That's true. Up here, there were 2 brown people in my school. 3. There were 3 people who were not white in my school, and 2 of them were from the same family. So there was not much out of the the possibly over 1,000 children that were in my school. There were only 3 people. Well, one of them I think was first or was a second generation immigrant, so he was British. But I think the other 2 were first gen immigrants. So I'm not too sure. One of them spoke English fluently, and the other one didn't. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All that you need to know is that I had an incredibly white school. Get permission to follow the kiddo. No. No. It was the younger one. No, wait. The younger didn't speak fluently because I remember I don't know. No, sorry, I do know. The older one spoke it fluently because I remember they both appeared in my primary school. They went to the same secondary school and primary school that I did, and so I knew them from then. And the first kid showed up and he spoke English fluently, and then like a year or so later, the second kid showed up and he didn't speak any English. So I don't, I'm not too sure. Which is kind of a bit unfair. I don't know what it was like in the country that they came from, but it feels a bit unfair to bring a child to the other side of the world midway through primary school who can't speak English. But he could speak it by the time we got into secondary school, it seems. Or at least from the little bits that I understood, from the bits that I didn't interact with him because he was younger than me, and the younger children were disgusting. The older children were scary, and the younger children were disgusting. But yeah, that was the level of diversity. Oh, and we had one black teacher. That was the level of diversity in my school. The older ones would have more time in a non-English country. No, well, that was the thing that I was a little bit that I'm not 100% certain on, is that the older one spoke fluent English and with an English accent, which makes me think that he didn't move from his home country to our school and is instead like moved from his home country as a small child to our country and then was at a different school before coming to ours. Because he could, or he was born in our country. It doesn't really matter how. All that needs that's important is that my school was the second place because he spoke fluently and with an English accent, but could also speak his native language or his parents' native language if he was born in the UK. I don't know. He wasn't my close friend, so I never spoke to him. I played tennis with him once on the playground. that was we played I remember we played extreme tennis, which was just tennis played at the length of the entire playground, so neither of us ever hit the ball back to each other. We just hit the ball to the other end of the playground and then had to sprint to grab it. And it was always funny whenever there was a substitute teacher, because they never knew how to pronounce his name, because his name on the register was not the name that he went by. Which, no, yeah. So every time that there was a substitute teacher, they would squint trying to read his name. But everyone knew what was about to happen, so everyone was prepared. I've had the menu music for the game for So We Have Not Problem in my playing for the past almost 40 minutes at this point. And it's not good because it's just on repeat. It's just an incredibly simple track. It's definitely like programmer music, which I think is probably the case for most of this. This feels like a game made by a programmer who tried to make it, look as good as possible. Considering it was made by 2 people. I just clicked on the credits and it just said made by these dorks, and there's a picture of 2 guys. Music by the court jester. Never mind, the music was actually by someone. And the artwork was by someone as well. Someone other than the guys who made it. Oh, here, you want to listen to it? I'll increase the volume a little bit for you. You know what? I'll show you what it looks. I'll show you what it looks like as well. There you go. Look. This is the game that we're playing. I played it an amount. I played the demo of it. I played basically the entire demo because it was fun, and it is basically it's a tower defense game. Is that what you want? No, this is an orc massage. This isn't a game where you're playing as a masseuse shop manager in which you're in a fantasy world and you have hired someone who cannot keep up with the number of orcs that are coming in for a massage. And so you have to then go out and manually massage them in some kind of DS-like minigame. The music is fine.
I want to see cars.
As long as you haven't just been sat here listening to it on repeat for the past 40 minutes. But yeah, this game is basically a fluid simulator, but a tower defense game. I can just show you. I'm playing the game. I can just show you what it is. It's very simple looking. I do have to show you. It's very simple looking. So, it was not made for 2-hour intros. I mean, it's still playing now, so I'm going to say it's probably not really meant for this. This game is far, far better than anything made in 1997. So, you have the build phase. You can... Actually, no, we can't build. We haven't got anything to do. But, you have build phase and you have the go phase. The build phase is just like how you'd expect. You build things, and then you build turrets and shit, and then it does it. It fights. You know, it's a tower defense game. If you've played Bloons Tower Defense, you've played them all. But the point is, from what I can see, is I will show you actually. Let's just start. You can fire missiles. Look at that. Look at missile. Look at that. Look at the orcs coming. And they move in a big fucking group. And they bounce around and they act like a fluid. But look at this. We're failing. I lost because I've only had my missile, and my missile is not very good. So you have to upgrade. And so I've just unlocked the first tower, which is a machine gun tower. I do it again, and now I have a machine gun tower, and I can put it here, and I can, you know, keep it a little bit narrow because they're coming in relatively shallow angle. And now you could do it again, and I've got a little gun that's firing, and I can still use my little missile. And it's not quite right. It's not doing the best, but it's helping. And you just rinse and repeat. And now I've got 2 little gems, and I can get an upgrade. I don't know if I can get an upgrade, actually. Yeah, I can. I can get, I want that. I want that one to increase the amount of gems I get. It kind of is a bit like Cookie Clicker Tower Defense. Though it very quickly becomes not a Cookie Clicker Tower Defense. And but it kind of is that, like, it has that idler, you know. It does have a bit of an idle game feel to it, and I'm saying that positively because I like idle games, sort of. Just on the edge, I am. I'm always so miserable about games, and so I'm showing you that I do like them. Vispheric likes feet. I like this game. We're all different. Put that there. You know what? I'm gonna put this going like here, and we can have it go. And look how good we're doing now. We're getting so many of them. They're still winning, but we got there. We're getting there. Oops, I didn't mean to play again, but I can play again. Don't rate my composition yet. It's not ready. We're not even a ranked match yet. This is like the way, you start. You have to start at the beginning before you can get to the end. You know, it's wrong. You know what? We'll increase our health points a little bit. This I noticed on the store page. This sprawls out a lot more. In the demo, it kind of just got to about here, and that was it. But I saw what it looks like on the store page, and it just keeps going. Get another gun tower. We can increase the missile damage. If I get 50 of them, I don't have to click all the time. I can just let it do it for me. I don't have... You know what? We'll do that. We'll increase that. You do get other things you can use. So, right now, I do only have machine guns and missiles. But, later on, I will get, like, big bombs. Big bombs and A10 warthogs. I'll get a big bong and I'll be wearing an undersized thong. And you won't fucking believe it. I have moved the bottom MG a little bit. It's addictive, and you can't take that away from me. You can try, you can hold onto my legs, and you can pry me away from the screen all you want, but it's not gonna work. We're wearing thongs that won't cover our dongs. Playing with a gong, but it's broke so it don't make a bong. My dad's wearing a thong. And my mum's lost her tongue. My uncle's name is Wong. And my dog's cock is long. Just ignore that one. Just pretend I didn't say that one.
I want to see cock.
If I was into S&M, I'd be a dom. Does that rhyme? I don't know if that rhymes. Hey, I am playing. I'm just developing my rapping career alongside. You know, everyone needs to have a side hustle. If my stream doesn't work out, I'm gonna become a rapper. There we go, I got some more now. And then 15,000 for that one. This missile damage. I'll increase that by as many as I can. And then we'll increase that. And then I've ran out, so I can't do any more, but that's fine. Oh yeah, beating these. So up here, yeah, you can see that. Up here we've got, like, there's the gems that I get. Those that I get just for surviving a level, but I think you can only get one per level. And then that is if you kill all of them. So you get, there's different resources to spend on different things. I'm Parappa the Rapper. And I'm looking rather dapper. Oh! If I could be anyone in history, I'd be James Crapper. I had like the I can't remember what the name of the guy is, actually. I was trying to think of the guy who invented the toilet, or the flushing toilet, or whatever. And I know that his last name is Crapper. And so I was trying to think what his real... I don't know what his first name actually is. But I was trying to... I had like the perfect line, but I didn't have a rhyme to end it with. Nah, it's there's nothing. It's over. It's what is I've got one friend that allows me to do stupid rhymes. Sometimes when we were playing like when we were playing like what's it called? COD Zombies or something. We'd just be sitting there throwing stupid rhymes back at each other. And then I've got the third friend that sometimes is sat in there with us while we're doing that, and he's just like sat there unimpressed by what we're doing. Which I think what we're doing is impressive, so I don't know why he'd be like that. Coming up with rhymes is fun. There you go. I don't have to keep clicking now. The game plays itself. That's what all games should be eventually. It's just to get every game just plays itself. You can get away from me. Oh no, they're getting through. No. Yeah. I see them out there playing with their fucking football net, thinking they're better than us. Yeah. I don't even know who these people are. I've never seen these two human beings in my life. That's Joe Biden. It looks like British Joe Biden. Joe. Nah, it doesn't actually. I've had a better look. It doesn't look like him. They're just out there doing whatever. There's been like loads of people, new houses that have not new houses that have been built. New households have been established on the street. Some people have moved out. One person has died, and so loads of new families have moved in on the street, and I recognize none of them. Hey, I survived that one. Go me. I only have to take out... I need to just make sure that I take out a couple more, and then I've done it. Then I get the cube as well. I want the cube. Welcome to the cube. Let's just get some more towers. That'll fix all our problems. America, 3 days after that fateful day. Oh, I didn't put the towers down. I forgot. If at some point during this stream I go blind, it's because I've drank more coffee than I was meant to today. I just felt like being a bit risky, you know. I still don't feel. Felt like being a bit risky, and so I drank more coffee than usual, and so if I die, I die. I woke up with a headache, went to bed a little bit too late because I was listening to white girl music and playing Mega Bonk, which is just like my daily thing. I spend far too much time playing Mega Bonk. It is not. It is a game that that probably doesn't deserve me putting as much time into it as I do, but I absolutely put far too much time into Mega Bonk. But I like it. It's fun. It's a good game to just play while not paying attention. Now, you know, you have to pay quite a bit of attention. Think about it. That's kind of the point of why I keep playing it. It's because I'm trying to get like a high score. But I feel it kind of brings back, you know how old games used to have score. You still see it very occasionally. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Survived it perfectly. We're going up in the world. Orbital Cryo Beam. Active ability calls down an orbital cryo beam that freezes all orcs in its path. That's new. Explosive orcs adds a 1% chance that orcs carry explosives which detonate upon death and damage nearby orcs. 1% chance is pretty low, but I like those odds, so I'm going with that. That's more fun to me. But yeah, like, Megabonk brings back in me the well, I never had it until I started playing games like Megabonk. Is that wants to get your score as high as possible. All right, what's this level look like? This is interesting. I don't know if I played. I don't know if this was in the demo. It's just like, oh no, yeah, it was. I think. Yeah, get that away. I want like. No, we'll do that. Then we'll do this. And then we'll do this. And we'll put like another one here, and then another one here. If they're gonna like come down here, if they come out of here, they're gonna like bounce along here. So I'm gonna assume that they're gonna be like there. But yeah, like Megabonk, just it. Oh, that one's gonna explode. I mean, it did, but that was like mega. Look, that was. Oh, there's another one. I suppose 1% when you've got this many orcs isn't actually that low. But yeah, it brings out the want to get the score as high as possible. That's what I like about Megabonk. It doesn't, because it has a number that I can get as high as possible. You have the number of enemies that you kill. And I want to get that really high, but I just can't. I never know how to properly play those sort of exponential scaling games. Like, I mean, like Balatro. Balatro, I mean, they're roguelites. But Balatro, I mean, Megabonk. What's the other one that I played? It's less so because it actually has an end. Binding of Isaac. Those games I struggle with. Even though I like playing them to some extent, I struggle with them because I just never really get in my head how each individual item interacts with each other. Let's go with... Oh, grenade launcher. Fires gas clouds that create lingering clouds slowing enemies caught within them. Mortar. I kind of want the flamethrower. The flamethrowers are really powerful. Or at least they were in the demo. Let's get the flamethrower. I want the flamethrower. I like the flamethrower. We're getting the flamethrower. Oh. Excuse me. Let's buy that. Oh, I'm dying. And I want more of them. And let's do that to increase the amount of things we're getting. Alright, next. Let's try them. So they start off and they're really short range. Look, they're like stupidly short range, but put one here. And then we'll put one here. Just to try and grab them. I think they come through here. Unless they're coming up here, we'll see what it looks like. I might have to put it facing this way instead. But once the maps start getting bigger, the those flamethrowers begin to... They need to get bigger. Come on. Yes. Go on there. See him. Got him. Oh, we've the final one. That was close. All right. I've thought about streaming Megabonk at some point, but I've played it so much that I kind of feel like it'd be a bit shit because I'm not really exploring anything new, and also I'd have to explain everything, but I don't necessarily think about how anything. So close. I don't necessarily think about what I'm doing while I'm playing it. Like, I do, but I'd have to explain why I'm doing, like, how the game works. And also, I'm scared of people coming into the chat who play Megabonk loads and laughing at me. Because I'm not very good at it. I just like playing it. It's my way. Ooh, increase the range. It's just one of the games that I play while refusing to do anything useful. Also, like, Megabonk takes forever. That's the other thing about it. It's just really, each level takes fucking forever. It does, well, no, not each level, but if you get on a good run, it takes forever, you know. I have no idea what it looks like if you get into the millions of kills. But the highest I've gotten is like, I think the highest I've gotten is 50,000. And I haven't gotten there since. I've done it once. And I think that took like maybe 40 minutes. So I'm kind of a little bit, oh, I survived that one. I'm kind of a little bit sort of hesitant to stream it because of how long it can take. There we go, finish that off. Finish me off on the barbecue, won't you? No, don't look at my tomes. I didn't go movement speed. I want to max this out. Oh, I can click on that to bring it back. It's nice. Also, with it being this is just a problem that I have with those kinds of games. With it being an RNG game, is that I have had so many runs where it's really good, and there's like the oversized fork is like a really useful thing and considered essential for getting ultra high runs, but I very rarely ever get it. And I'll get to like 20,000 kills, 30,000 kills, but I just didn't get the fork at any point. And it's like, I've just spent 30 minutes, and it's like, I know that I could have given up the moment that I knew I wasn't getting the fork, but then I've already put that much time into it. I might as well go until I die. But no, I am scared that they'll make fun of me for me doing nothing but getting 50 evasion tomes. It's fun, that. I've been looking at the there's a website where people that like show you all the different like builds that you can try and work for. And for the longest time, I was not using damage tomes. I was like, yeah, I don't need a damage tome. I can't. I could just do much better with my tomes. I don't want damage tome. But now I've started stacking damage tomes. It is mental. Just so many damage tomes. By the end of it, I get like 40 to 50 of them. I'm trying to max out damage tomes, though I've never managed to max them out because I just keep dying before then. Just getting as many damage tomes and seeing the difference in damage that I'm doing, and being like, in my runs, I'd get to the end, and then I'd get like 20, maybe 20,000 kills if I'm lucky. But my weapons, like one of my weapons is maxed out. Now, I'm getting like barely any, I'm getting like barely any weapons. Like, I'm not maxing them out. Sometimes I'm getting to the end of the thing, and I haven't even gotten my main weapon past like level 12 or something. But I've just been stacking damage multipliers, and I'm doing stupid amounts of damage. Might be you know, a little bit of incompetence in why I'm doing that, and I'm not doing it right. But you know, it's still cool. It's definitely, yeah, the chance part about it is something that you get a bit bored of at times. But I don't know. I'm fine. I like it. Sit down, play it for an hour or so every day. And, you know, I generally, it's even worse. So there's a having played the meta character is Dice Head. Yeah, that's the meta character, and it's meta because it is its attack does very little damage, but it throws out a dice. Every time that dice hits an enemy, it basically does 1 to 6 damage, or at the very least, it rolls a dice, a 6-sided dice, and if it's a 6, that weapon's crit chance increases permanently. And so what you want to do with that is you just want to stack as many of those. You want to be firing as many as possible and getting as many 6s as possible, so you can get your crit chances as possible. Because once your crit goes above 100%, your extra crit it's like feeds into like more damage. So like when you do a crit, if you've got a crit over 100%, you do a crit, the crit does more damage. You know, it's something like that. I'm not 100% certain on the the actual way it does it, but in the early game, that weapon is fucking useless. Like if you've not getting anything, it's terrible. And so the early game on that is incredibly slow and incredibly shit. But once it gets rolling, if you can get get an extra weapon early, or you just get lucky with some of the drops, it is insane how quickly that does begin to snowball. Giga Chad used to be. Giga Chad is a fun one. I do like Giga Chad. When I first started playing, I used Giga Chad quite a lot. But obviously now I'm just trying to go for like high scores, so I've been using nothing but Dice Head. And yeah, I guess I like honestly I like the basic ones. I like Giga Chad, I like Dice Head, and I like the Fire Mage thing. I can't remember its name, Foxy, I think. I'm a meta sheep because I want to get a high score. Oh, I also like Calcium. He's cool, but I don't use him. I never use Calcium. Oh, and the Ice Mage one. That's a good one. Ice Mage used to be meta, but at some point it got nerfed. I can't remember. I don't know what happened, but the Ice Mage one got nerfed. I think it's like Coletta or something. I don't know what her name is. Oh, Ninja's good, because Ninja gets the Katana, and the Katana is busted, I find. It is crazy how powerful the Katana feels at times. I don't know if it is actually busted, it just feels like it is. What do I want to do? Let's gain... Oh, I want additional resources. Let's do that. Increase my number of flamethrower towers. And then... Yeah, let's play. I want to do this one. I want to get this without... Do that. Put that there. So now there's like a little bit of a... They have to go through fire there. I have all but one character unlocked in Mega Bonk, and it's Roberto. Roberto is the one that I haven't unlocked. I have no idea how I'm supposed to unlock Roberto. I know how to. I know what I've got to do. I know what the conditions are for unlocking Roberto. I just have no idea how I'm supposed to do it. I don't know if you've played the Graveyard level. But there's 3 levels: forest, desert, graveyard. Graveyard's different to the other ones because you start off in a crypt, and you've got it's just like a little obstacle course sort of thing. But throughout it, there's loads of jars, loads of pots that you can break, and there's loads of there's loads of free chests. So the whole point is that you start off in this crypt, you try and get as many chests as you can, break as many jars as you can. You're still being chased by enemies, of course. But you've got to get through it, and you've got to get to the end within, I think it's 50 seconds, unless you're doing the challenges, in which it's lower, but it doesn't matter. The point is, you've got like a minute, 50 seconds to get to the end. So you've got to kind of balance between going out of your way to get the chests and getting to the end. If you don't get to the end, Roberto appears. I think that's what it's called. I think it might be called Roberto. But which is just a big scary ghost with a number of health that has letters in it. It's one of those. It's one of those enemies that has a health bar in which the number has letters in it. And to unlock Roberto as a character, you have to defeat that. I'm almost certain that you can't do it on your first time in the crypt. But what happens is you go into the main level, and instead of it being three levels within the stage, or it might be 3 stages from the level, it doesn't matter, But you have 3 stage bosses. Instead of it being like that, there are 4 bosses scattered throughout the map. Well, you do also have the bosses that spawn on the timer, but there's 4 bosses throughout the map that you have to go and kill, get keys, and then you go back into the crypt, go to the end, and then there's a final boss. And so when you go into the crypt the second time, you still have a countdown. And so that's the point, I think, in which you're expected to kill Roberto, because you can't go into the crypt again afterwards. I'm not a big fan of Graveyard, and I don't know how many people actually play Graveyard, because I don't like Graveyard. In terms of doing damage to him, there might be... There's a strategy that I've come up with, and I have no idea how you would be to do it. Or at least you would struggle to do it. And that is to try and stack as many power-up drop chance effects so that you can try and hope that when you go in there, you can kill all the enemies that spawn and get more than 1 nuke drop. Because the nuke seems to do damage as a percentage of the enemy's health. I think. Also, I don't know how the nuke calculates damage, but it does a huge amount of damage to Roberto. And so my assumption or my plan would be to try and get loads of them to drop, but I don't know how you'd pull that off. And also, you would need quite a few of them to drop for it to work. And so my next plan would be maybe it's called Bob. It might not be Roberto. It might actually just be called Bob. I think it... I don't know. But there is an item that you unlock called Bob's Light, which is basically a nuke that just goes off on your person every 45 seconds, I think. But its radius is much more reduced. No, it isn't. But it is. Anyway, it's an item, every 45 seconds, it goes off. And so my assumption there is that you stack as many Bob's Lights as you can get, because every time you get another one, it reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. So if you can stack loads of those, then get the boss to spawn, all you have to do is find a way to survive long enough for them to go off. I think it's doable. I just think it's incredibly luck-based. And so that's the only character that I haven't gotten, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get him. There's a number of different items that I haven't gotten as well. But one of them requires you to have unlocked Roberto, the character, so I can't get that one. And one of them requires you to be below 10% health and kill a stage boss, which is really more difficult than you think. Because, like, the unfortunate thing is that I'm kind of too good at the game. And so it's like, if I try and play poorly, I just die. Like, if I try to not have health, I just die. And so, like, the challenge, it feels like something you're supposed to unlock by accident when you first start playing the game. But getting 10% health and then fighting the stage boss is just really annoying. Especially because that means that you also have to ensure that you're getting minimal healing from external sources. Maybe the challenge is that the game does give you so much opportunity to heal that it's difficult to not. Because it does. There is so much healing involved that you can get. You know, with lifesteal, HP increase, HP regen. There's just so much that you have to take into it that you can get health from. Yeah, maintaining 10% health is difficult. But yeah, no, I understand that the look factor of it is very off-putting, because it is just kind of a gacha game, but as a roguelite, and especially because oh no, I was one. I'm gonna try. I just need a tiny touch more damage, just a little bit more. I missed the achievement. Now I can never get it. It's over. It's like the it's like achievements from back in the day that required, like old Xbox achievements that require you to play online. You can't get anymore. It's like old Halo achievements, I think. Dude. There we go. Look at that. No, no! We did it. I wasn't panicking. No, I don't want to play it again. Stop it. Nah, I'll play it again. To be fair, the luck element of most roguelites puts me off. Although one thing I do like about Mega Bonk is that you can turn off items that you don't want. That's something that, well, you can't. There's a base set of items that you have to have turned on, but any of the ones that you unlock, you can just turn them off. Which is very good, because there's one that just does damage to you. There's a build that uses it, I think. I think there's a build that uses it, but there's one that just does damage to you. Like, repeatedly. You get it, and it will just do everything it can to keep you... It can't kill you, but it can get you to 1 HP. So... That's an item I've turned off because I don't want it. There are, because I think there's some. Well, there's a number of items that you can get that give you effects when you take damage, and so I assume that the whole point is that you want to be like stacking. You want that thing to do damage to you, so that you're getting the effects of all those items that do damage to you. They only get the effects when you take damage. I want to increase the range of that. Can I increase the number of flamethrowers? No, I can't. Free penetration. For free? Really? Bullets have a 10% chance to penetrate burning enemies without consuming penetration. And increase damage to burning orcs by 5%. Dude. Oh. I'm gonna go with... I'm actually gonna go with that one because it just increases the number. Ooh, what do I want? I think I might get gun penetration because I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have penetration, so there'd be no reason for me to get free penetration. There we go. Maybe I will play Mega Bonk on stream one day. Though it does seem a little bit silly to play a game on stream, but you know what? Put that there. It does seem a little bit strange to play a game on stream that I've put so much time into already. Okay, do that. And let's do... I don't know where the orc's going to come from, so I'm going to put it about there. Let's put that there. Put that there. No, I'm doing that now, really. I played this. I played a demo of this loads. I need to be using this. Oh. No. No. I don't know how many levels this game has. I hope it's 1,000,000. Where the basement? What, here? This is just going, it's just shooting into the crowd, isn't it? I could put it better if I want, I put it here instead. It has the range. I want to put it like here. Wait, does it have the range? Oh, it didn't really have the range, you're right. This one here I need to point more towards the wall as well. You don't want to backseat, you do have 200 hours in Orc Massage and it's similar. Well, you know, that's... If you've got 200 hours in a game, I think that you must know what you're talking about. And I wouldn't consider it backseating because I think you'd keep yourself in check. You know, you'd know what you'll know what you're telling me and whether or not it's important. Oh, let's get so many upgrades now. I mean, I can't, but I could in theory potentially. I don't need tower damage. Actually, that is kind of useful, having tower statistics. I remember that being useful because then you can look at what you've got and be like, what is not doing anything? But I actually don't care at the moment, and I just want to do damage. So let's get this. Increasing my damage the flamethrowers do, because I think they're the bulk of my damage. Like the flamethrowers do like the most damage, and then everything else does like finishes them off. Put that there. Yeah. The explosive ones weren't in the demo. I was worried with the amount of... It sounds weird to say because there wasn't that much content, but there was enough content in the demo to make me go, I wonder what's going to be in the full game. It's better for me to answer bad placement and planning. No, it's all about learning. It's not about outing. It's about learning, and I would be learning new places to put. Like, you know, no one has pointed out that flamethrower there doing piss all. So I can move this one and put it like here. Actually, no, I want to put it here. Don't buzz at me. These turrets here can move as well. I'll move them down. Because right now they're doing something, but they're not doing much. I'll put them here. So we're doing all right. We're doing much better. Moving that one flamer down seemed to do quite a lot. I think games like this are kind of they're a peak. They're peak. It's not about what it looks like. It's how you use it. What upgrades we got? Really, dude, from the mobile ads. They're gonna start using me. They're gonna start hiring me. You don't need AI for your mobile ads, just hire me. Hire me, give me 3 cups of coffee, and I'll be good. I've had 2, well, I had 1 earlier. And then I had a cup of herbal tea when I came home, and I didn't like it. And then I had 2 cups of coffee within the past hour. I shouldn't have done that, because I already felt a headache coming on, but don't worry about it. I make poor decisions, so you don't have to. Incremental games, my beloved. Some of them there's a lot of them. One game one game genre that I want to play, but I also don't want to support because there's just so many that have just appeared out of nowhere, is I want to play one of those cleanup games. You know those games, there's loads of them that have just appeared out of nowhere, where it's just like loads of items on the floor and you gotta pick them up and put them on a shelf. There's like one for like Lego. There's like Lego on the ground. I don't know if that's available. I think I just saw a clip of it somewhere. And as I saw that, I was like, I kind of want to play that. But just out of nowhere, there's tons of them. When I wasn't streaming a couple of weeks back, I played Leave It Alone. Leave It Alone is like really short, really fun. I had a great time playing Leave It Alone. I even did the speedrun achievement. Because I was like, I played it through, and I was like, this is fun. And then a little bit later, I was like, I kind of want to play it again. And I saw there was a speedrun achievement. And I spent like 4 hours trying to get the speedrun achievement. Though, if you do get Leave It Alone, which I do recommend, it's not very expensive. So if you see it and it's like cheap and you want it, I recommend Leave It Alone. It's a good, 40-minute game. Just play through it real quick. Maybe play through it occasionally or whatever. But if you do go for the speedrun achievement in Leave It Alone, don't do what I did, which is try and get 100% for 4 hours. You don't have to get 100% of all the leaves in the game to get to the end. The achievement is just get to the end of the game in like less than 30 minutes or something. It's not clean up all the leaves. So I spent a long time doing that until I looked at the achievement again and was like, wait, that just says get to the end. It doesn't say clean it all up. But it's fun. I recommend it if you see it at any point. The library one, I want to check. Let me just. I'm going to. Is it librarian? Tidy up the arcane library. That's the one that I've noticed, I think. How much is it? It's £5. I'll add it to my wish list. Wait a minute, I saw something. The developers describe how their game uses AI-generated content like this. The 4 assets in this work, 1 UI component and 3 landscape paintings used as wall decorations. Frames not included were produced using additional AI for refinement. None of them were created by AI from the ground up. AI helped with grammatical corrections for in-game text, which were then carefully reviewed and adjusted by hand. We only consider AI to be a supportive tool. Every detail is meticulously crafted with human intent, as our creative process is still firmly anchored in manual craftsmanship. What do you think, chat? Now, alternatively, there is Sort Them Ducks, which doesn't say it used AI in its production, and it's about sorting ducks. It's the same price. Oh, never mind. Hold on. One review has said they strongly suspect that the game uses AI-generated 3D models. I don't even know that was a thing that could be done. Apparently it gives people motion sickness. It's Tidy Slop is something that's just appeared because there's this. Oh, there's another one which is Supermarket Chaos. There's Cellar Keeper as well. I want to play one, but I also just don't. I don't. I don't. It's the idea of it. It's just a slot game, isn't it? And they're all using AI. Every single one has AI in it somewhere. Da, 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 da. Just play Leave It Alone. Leave It Alone. I don't know if Leave It Alone was the first of them, but I respect it. The people who made that only have one game that came out. Maya, you're not allowed to shame AI because you play War Thunder. And that's like 90% AI generated stuff now. Oh, I can get another flamethrower tower. That's nice. I can actually get the fifth one. Yeah, let's get a fifth one. Throw another one in. Treat myself. I didn't mean to go on this one. Alright, sorry, we'll do it. Just get whatever. Get whatever we get from it. Oh wait, no, have I done this one? I can't remember. But I do have to, full disclosure, I did play War Thunder last night. And the night before. I know. Listen, I can't tell a lie. I didn't move these either, but... Everyone relapses on something occasionally, okay? It's fine. Did I? No, I haven't. I've still been doing them. I thought I clicked on this one back. I do have changes that I can make to this. Like, I want to bring these down here. Put this here. And then these I want to move up here. And here. I am still tempted though to try that library sort of thing. I'll consider if it. No, actually not. It depends if it goes on sale like within the next week. What do you mean top placement is L? What's wrong with it? No. It's shooting people. No, these aren't people. These are orcs. They only know war. Yes, I survived. Put it down there. It means the Death Note L is so Giga Chad. Is it L that eats the potato chip? The crisp? Is he the one who takes the potato chip and eats it? Is that a legit thing? Does that actually happen in the show? Or is that just like was that just like a YouTube poop or something? Ever since like I've never seen Death Note and I'm not gonna watch it. That's the thing, I only know it from the memes. Well, from the occasional meme. I don't know much about it. And what my friend tells me. And that one episode of Game Theory where Matt Pat tries to calculate how long it would take for him to actually, like, do what he does. Oops, that's alright, I wasn't going to make it. The thing is, I never had that want to watch Death Note. It was never in my head as a show that I want to watch. Because it just never struck me as something that I would like. Or at least, I don't really know what, but, you know, I just never thought about it as a show to watch. And then, vague spoiler, but, like, not an actual... I'm not going to say anything that happens. I'm just going to say something that could be construed as a spoiler for it. Then, I was told that the ending is shit. And so I went from not wanting to watch it to really not wanting to watch it. Because I was like, if I know that it's not going to end well, then I don't care. Laser or cannon? I remember getting the cannon in the demo and not using it. But I just increase the range and then increase the burn duration and the ticks a second and the burn duration and the ticks a second and the burn duration and the ticks a second and the ticks a second. And I will also increase the missile cooldown because I want to get the strafing run. You'll watch the live action and judge it based on that. I think that's a good idea. I think that is the only true way that one should consume animated media. I've never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, and so I'm going to watch the Netflix show. If it was in the the live action show, then it must have been in the what's it called? It must have been in the cartoon. You know, it is an adaptation after all. The dick bender. Saw some clips that look good visually. That's basically all I've heard in terms of well, I haven't heard anything. I've heard nothing. I've seen thumbnails describing Avatar: The Last Airbender show. The Netflix one. Actually, I don't need to put it. I started the battle by mistake. Ugh. But yeah, I've seen thumbnails describing. I get most of my news through thumbnails, and that's the general gist I got from it, is that the Last Airbender looks alright, but that's it. You know what's annoying about clickbait is that I don't trust any clickbait thumbnails. Yeah. Though, as I mentioned in Discord the other day, I have been binge watching Linus Tech Tips over the past few days. Linus is a little bit cringe, and sometimes it just feels cringe at times. Just things about it that rub me the wrong way. But you know, they are good fodder. And a lot of them are semi-clickbait, but I've seen certain clickbaity sort of thumbnails, and the worst part about it is that I won't click on something that I look at and I'm like, that's bait, that's clickbait. I don't care. Which is good, because it means that I don't watch shit. But people that aren't making clickbait, that are making like decent stuff, don't usually clickbait their titles because they're too kind of they have morals, you know, so there's no real clickbait in what they're doing. But then as a result, I don't click on it because I'm like, oh, it looks like a boring video. But if someone knows what they're doing and makes a clickbait title, I'm not going to click on it because it's a clickbait title. It's the duality of YouTube and the internet is that I don't trust anyone. Gets my news from Linus Private Jet Sebastian. Yeah, he is where I get all manner of news from him. He's a newsman. The good thing about, you know, Linus Tech Tips though is that as a channel, the content is good enough to watch, and there's tons of it. And because I didn't grow up watching Linus Tech Tips, my friends mentioned it. You know, my PC liking friends mentioned him, but I didn't watch him back then. So I've got like 5 years worth of content to make my way through. It's great. You consume Yu-Gi-Oh content regularly and you drop most of the creators because of that. Oh yeah. And you clicked on a why right-wing grifters don't eat vegetables, and only after watching it a little while, you noticed the length was 6 hours. That wouldn't put me off it. I see length of videos as a sign of quality. Well, I don't. Depends if it's a person I've already started watching. I don't really start new channels. I'm fine. I won't necessarily sit down and watch it for 6 hours. I think the last video that I watched, that caught my attention, that I sat down and watched for 6 hours without, or however, I don't know, maybe it was 6 hours. I can't remember. The last thing that I watched that was like that long was years ago now, and that was Paracynical's show video on Utopia. That was like the last time that I sat down and I remember seeing that. I was like, that's an incredibly long video that I want to watch. I'll play Red Dead at the same time, just as something to have on. So I'm not like playing, but just running around, you know, lassoing people and stealing horses and killing animals. But after like 20 minutes of doing that, I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of interesting. And I sat there for the entire duration of the video and watched it. And that's the last time I've done anything like that. That used up the last of my like attention, my lifelong attention reservoir was used up on that, and it's been decimated ever since. Let's increase, you know, I'll increase my actual thing. Oh, and I can get that. Is there anything else I'd want instead of that? No, I want this. I like this. I'm gonna upgrade that. I can upgrade you as well. Why not? Treat myself. And I'll get the laser because I haven't gotten that before. This level wasn't in the demo. This is new. How does this work? Why would I want to like use this? Put it there. Let's put it there. Put flamethrower there. Put flamethrower there. And we'll put one there. Yeah, go on. And we'll put one. No, I don't want the laser. Oh, flamer. 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 Turret. 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 Turret? Turret. No, not there. I'll put one here. Well, put one there until I know the sort of the angle that they're coming through there at. And then, I don't know, put one here. Okay, how's this looking? Okay, the laser turret's doing nothing. This machine gun's doing nothing here. Oh, this is troublesome. Okay, play again. Okay, laser, move it to there. We'll just like choose a direction for you. We're not gonna get it. Oops. Why is Jesus so calm? Because he took angel management courses. What? Is that just a stupid thing, or am I supposed to get it? As rude as that sounds. Am I stupid? Have I gotten stupider reading what you said? I vaguely feel it. I should probably increase the amount of health that I've got. I'll do that. Increase my health points. There we go. You made the trick yourself, so it's guaranteed bad. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I like someone that can own up to their shit. I respect it. As someone who has too much pride in myself to ever own up to my problems, I respect you. You've gained my respect, sir. For that, you've gained nothing. It's worth actually nothing. HP is a noob trap. I need it though. The more HP I have, the more enemies I can kill before I lose. Look at that! Look how many health points I could get. Oh, explosive! Oh, I could increase. I could increase this. Let's increase the chance by 0.4. Oh, I've got the thing as well. This. Increase there. There we go. Forgot. Depending on your pronunciation. Sorry. Let me read the entire thing. It was supposed to invoke anger management, but depended on your pronouncing angel wrong. It does, doesn't it? It doesn't. I don't even know how I'm supposed to pronounce it, because I'd have to pronounce it angel or angle. Watch this. Watch this. Look at that. You know, I want to move it. No. Or does it not do it automatically anymore? Or maybe that's an upgrade I've got to get. You can get an upgrade that allows you to do strafing runs automatically, I think. Okay, that's on me. I am a person who likes to pronounce words correctly, which is bad because it kind of conflicts with me sometimes. How many? Hold on. How does this work? What we got going on down here? Ah, okay. Increases it. They've changed it. They've potentially changed the way that strafing runs work. So in the demo, strafing runs were just something you put down, and it would just repeatedly cycle through it. It would just do a strafing run, then do another one, then do another one, and it'd just keep repeating it wherever you last set it. So you could move it freely. Now they seem to have made it into something that you actually have to use, which is fair. Oh, excuse me. Dead. Fair. Let's do that. We'll get damage stats. And then we will increase... increase that. I don't like the lasers. The lasers suck. That was an A10. Hold on, I'll show it you. I'll show it in a sec. Look. We have an orc problem after all. And we need to deal with it any way possible. I would say that waves of orcs is the perfect environment for an A10. Do I have enough to increase the amount of resources I'm getting? I do. I need to start increasing the amount of resources I'm getting. Try and do damage to like the explodey ones. I think that might be my goal. As the guy with the aerial rocket launcher, my goal should be to try and take out the explodey ones. I think that might actually be an inefficient use of my rockets. Why didn't they do that in WoW? I'm surprised they haven't. Maya, if you're around, is that image that I saw of Khadgar in a floating wheelchair real? I don't know if you're still playing it, but I just wondered. I saw an image at one point. It's just in general. I saw an image from WoW. Khadgar, for people who don't know, is an archmage. Like, he is like the most powerful mage the humans have. He's just one of the most powerful people. Khadgar was in a magical wheelchair somewhere around last expansion. Okay, that was a real image then. I find it a little bit funny that the first time a wheelchair appears in WoW for someone with a disability, and it's the guy that could probably the guy that could turn into a crow. Part of his thing is that he could turn to a crow. He's a mage. He's a mage, and he's in the World of Warcraft. They have healers. They have people that... They have people whose job it is to bring others back from the dead. What do you mean he can't use his legs? If he didn't have them anymore, I'd understand. I find that funny that there is always that in games like WoW and Final Fantasy, there's always that bit where it's kind of like, why does anyone die in this game? Like, in the story, no, if you're playing as a healer or something, like, why did they die? I could heal them. I could bring them back to life. I have a resurrection spell. It's the same with people like who are injured and stuff. Obviously, there are sometimes lore reasons why there's no healers around or whatever, but there's so many times where, like, why are there so many people dying in this war? We have healers. We have healers who specialize in, like, AoE spells and things. You don't need... Khadgar doesn't need a wheelchair. You could walk and turn into a crow. You don't usually question it. It's just sometimes you just remember that fact. You're like, wait, why is it like this? Do that. I do, I liked, wait, fuck. I was just remembering how long ago Dragonflight was. I remember playing, I love Dragonflight. I only really played it for the campaign. I only, played the story, played the expansion, and then didn't really do that much in fucking end game content. But I just remember I really liked playing that. Dragonflight was great, especially coming off the back of whatever it was. Was that Dragonflight came after Shadowlands, didn't it? No wonder it was great if that's the case. There you go. Just increasing the amount of resources I get. I liked it. Visually, it was nice. Thought it was. I thought it was cool that one of the sort of like the key sort of tribe. I mean, they were thing, but one of the like the key characters was deaf, or was it? Were they mute? They couldn't. They had an interpreter with them. Would I get more from the previous one? Well, I'm trying to unlock. Actually, you got an idea. You've got a point. Let's find out. I was getting 170 from that. Oh, I was expecting that to go a bit further than it is. I almost got tempted to go back to WoW, but that temptation didn't last very long. I finished play. I gave up playing FF14, and then I was kind of like, oh, maybe I want to try WoW again. But no, I don't want to do that. I do just barely get more. Dude. Oops, I didn't mean. Well, I'm here now. Played season 1, didn't go back for season 2. The Emperor pool looked like ass. I suppose that's the it's good that they bring back old dungeons for Mythic Plus, but at the same time it does mean that sometimes you have to play the shit ones. Yeah, the previous one probably is faster. I'm gonna say probably, I mean it is. Boop. Oh, I have a laser. I forgot about that. Let's just like do this. And if I use this, I can speed up even more. Look at that. No, I can't actually beat it any faster than they spawn, and I don't think them being dead changes how fast they spawn, so... Because when I thought about going back to WoW, I foresaw the feeling that I was gonna go through the same cycle that I do every time I play WoW. I was like, do I want to do that? Is anything going to change? Am I going to get to max level? And am I going to actually take part in Mythic Plus? Am I actually going to take part in the things that I want to do? Or am I just going to complain that I'm not doing them? And I was like, I'm just going to complain that I'm not doing them. And so I was like, no, I'm not doing it. That's all that's going to happen, is that I'm going to get to Mythic Plus and I'm just not going to play it, and I'm going to complain that I'm not doing it. Increase that. I need that. I can just like throw it into it now. Dungeon like Murderer that has horrible trash in the latter half of the dungeon. I don't think I remember that dungeon. Unless that is a description and not a title. When are they bringing Stormwind Stockade back? Have they Mythic Plus that one yet? R.I.P. Stormwind Stockade. The best fucking dungeon that absolutely destroys overconfident early tanks and healers that don't know what they're doing. It's such an easy dungeon that so frequently tanks just run in. They just run and pull everything up to the first boss and everyone dies instantly. Putting them plus so hell, yeah, it's cool defending with friends. Yeah, and that's the thing. My friends refuse to play WoW, so. It's kind of like the whole problem just with MMOs as a whole is that you need other people playing them. And it's the same with a lot of games, but I feel like MMOs are one of those games that you need other people playing. Like I was playing when I was playing FF14, I had another friend who was playing it. He was much further behind me, but he was also still playing it. But he eventually dropped off of it. And it's, you know, it's fair. It's understandable why one would drop off. It's understandable why he doesn't like it. He explains why he doesn't really why he dropped off. But when you're playing on your when you're playing on your own, it's just a little bit like I like the MMOs because you can just meet up with your friends in it. You can just go hang out for a little bit. You can, if you want to go and do a dungeon with them, you can. And so, yeah, I just wish, I just think that, yeah, MMOs are a game that I think uniquely requires other people. Which is, I say it's uniquely, it's kind of it's in the name, but, you know what I mean. FF14 was just, like, they wanted the story of it. But they just don't like MMOs. I think that's the problem, is that they just don't like the MMO playstyle. And they were playing on console, which isn't really a problem in FF14. The game's designed around that as a possibility, but it's still a lot of different things that you have to learn. And they were playing Black Mage, and I try and tell them, like, you can do this, but every, like, 5 levels while leveling, Black Mage changes, and so it just kind of, eventually, it just doesn't feel like you're doing any damage. And like, this friend specifically didn't like how in a lot of in FF14, but in MMOs, with it being a game in which you're often, you know, 4, 5, 10 players in a group doing something, he didn't like how that you don't feel like you're doing anything. You know, when you've got this group of people all attacking one enemy, each individual person might not necessarily feel like they're doing much, which I understand. But at the same time, it's the part of teamwork. But yeah, no, FF14 is insane catch-up wise. I got really far in. I got up to the to the expansion that's just before current. I got really far in before I was just kind of like, ugh. I want to play it. Like, I wanted to play it because what I wanted to do was I just wanted to do dungeons. That was the thing. I liked knowing the story. The story was something that I wanted to pay attention to. But to unlock new dungeons, I had to do the story. But I sometimes didn't want to do the story. I just wanted to play the game and do dungeons, you know. I just wanted something to play. And so I would just end up playing it and doing dungeons and not doing the story. And so I leveled up much, like, further than the story. And I was just kind of like, I'm just bored. And then, like, just the number of spells that I have. And I'm like, I've got too many of them. I've got too many spells. Even when I wasn't even playing a class that had a lot of spells on it. I was playing Viper. But then the problem with Viper is that it just became a class where Viper's fun. I liked playing Viper, but it's using the next generation of, like, attack inputs, or however it is, whatever they're calling it, and that is great. but it means that you're constantly looking at what you have to cast next. You can't really get it in. You can't really get a flow in. You can't really get muscle memory as well. You have to keep checking down, which is fine. I liked. You know what? I'm complaining. I liked that. I liked it more than the other ones. But when I played something else, there's like just too many spells. Viper, don't worry about it. Viper's one of the newer classes. I think it is the new class. So it's fun. I liked Viper because it's two-handed sword. It's two swords. It was much faster. It's faster than any of the other classes to play. You are just constantly pressing things. And it's not like you're pressing a lot of things. I didn't have that many buttons to press, which is why I liked it. It was fast, didn't have many buttons, and you would do decent damage. And I also just didn't like how you can't really build the way that you play a class around the level that you play it at all the time, because when you go into a dungeon, if that dungeon is a lower level than you, then you lose all the spells that you had up until that point, which makes sense and is really useful, especially if you're playing something like healer and you play Sage, for instance. Sage is same thing as Viper, new class. But if you want to play Sage, for instance, that class appears at level like 70 or something, and then you just get a load of spells just unloaded onto you, and you just like, gotta figure it out. Being able to go into a dungeon and have all those spells removed, and so you could just use the spell. You can be like, okay, I know that I'm going to be doing dungeons that are level 30 and below. I'll just put all the spells that are only level 30. I'll use them, and then when I feel like I've understood those, I'll then add in the next few spells, and you can do it like that if you want, which is what I was doing to try and understand how to play the class. And that worked fine. But at the same time, it does mean that if you're like a higher level and you have all these spells on your hotbar, you can't get rid of spells that you might not need at a high level, because if you go into a low level dungeon, you do need to use them. Like Mage. Mage has 3 fireball spells or fire spells. I think it might have more. But once you get to the high levels, not even max level, just high levels, you no longer use the first fire spell. But you have to keep it on your hotbar somewhere in the event that you go into a low level dungeon. And it has to be somewhere that you can reach it easily, because if you're in a low level dungeon, you have to keep pressing it repeatedly. So I both like it and I don't. I wish I could. I wish it was my kind of game, but I mean it is, but it's also not. It's hard to explain. I'm just stupid, I am. I really liked that. I really liked White Mage. I played for a little bit, and I did. That was something though that like healing in FF14 is like really scary, because you can't, because everything takes so long to do. Like casting takes forever. And so you'd be, one thing that did help me though with healing is learning that all the enemies attack at the same time. Like all, at least that auto attacks, all come through at the same time. So you can see that like the health goes down in chunks instead of it just like draining like it would do in WoW. It goes down in chunks. So it was a little bit easier to, once you notice that, you're like, okay, it's not as scary. You get quite a bit of time. But yeah, that is something I do like about healing. I liked healing about FF14, is that healer is just the 4th damage class. You're not, or the 3rd damage class in that instance. Healing in that is very much you do damage. You're doing damage, but you also have to heal occasionally. And White Mage was fun because you would just do healing where necessary and then run into the pack and just start casting Holy. And it's like Holy is just your damage negation. spell. You don't have to stop the tank from taking damage. You just stop the enemy from being able to do damage. So that was fun. Let's increase that. How far into this can we get now? Still not doing amazingly, but I might be able to get if I buy another turret, then I can put another turret here, like pointing down here. Or maybe move the laser to somewhere better, I don't know. Though we are doing better now. We are lasting longer in here, and lasting longer means that we can earn more. Stupid DPS standing in fire and stupid tank for not using mitigation. I only ever really healed low-level tanks in FF. I didn't really do much high-level stuff, but you definitely see a lot of people either not using mitigation or using it at really, really random times. That was something that I found funny, is that you would just be, you'd be in the middle of fighting. Actually, no, you wouldn't be in the middle of fighting. You'd be at the tail end of fighting a pack of mobs, and then they'd use one of their mitigations. And it's like, what was the point of that? There was no point. It does absolutely nothing. In FF14, there's even less excuse for standing in fire, because the game has huge fucking circles that appear in wherever it's going to be. Let's get more. Where's the increase? Yeah, we want that one. We want to increase the number of gun towers. But no, I enjoyed it. For the most part, I enjoyed what I did while I played in it, but like the gameplay made me long for World of Warcraft, but the community did not. The general vibe I got from the FF14 community was much better than I get from WoW. No, get back here. Oh, I'm not gonna do it. I could have, actually, I might have been able to do this had I used the strafing run. I keep forgetting that I've got that. I got 758 for that. Yeah, it's now much, I think it's much better to be doing this one now. Dude. Adds a 1% chance that an orc becomes silver after spawning. Killing a silver orc grants an additional, grants one additional, that. Oh. Dude. I think I want more damage though. Because I want to try and do this. I kind of feel bad for other people, because obviously, because the internet knows everything, when you start playing like FF14, Reddit starts showing me a load of like MMO subreddits, and every day on the MMO subreddit there is just like tons of people being like, yep, I'm an indie developer and I'm starting my very own MMO, and it's like, that is, I don't want to tell you that it's not going to go well, but it's not going to go well. MMOs are like the most intense, upkeep intensive games, and someone making an indie game is not going to make an MMO that does well. I'd like to be proven wrong. Oh, so close. I'd like to be proven wrong, but indie devs are great at making games like this, but running an MMO is just, it's not going to happen. Not on the long term, at least. Let's increase that, and then we will increase the damage a little bit. It's barely increasing it, but we'll increase it a little bit. And I'll get another laser tower. I don't like them, but we'll get one. Might as well. And then we can, like, put it here. Laser tower here. We can, like, zap it back and forwards. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah! I fucking did it. Why did I get so little this time? I beat this one. One time I got 700. This time I only got 259. Am I insane? Maybe I misunderstood what I saw. Maybe I'm the problem. Ah, you're right. You are correct. Which one do I want? I want cool one. I kind of want that because that increases the fire rate dramatically. Missile shrapnel. Missile explosions shoot out 2 shrapnels that deal damage and slow orcs. I kind of want the one that does this. I just want the cryo. No, I want that. I've got that. I've got it now. You can't change my mind. It's impossible to change my mind now. Then let's also get... Max out all the automatic stuff so to play as little as possible. That's the whole point, Maya. I can't max it. I can't. That's just max out everything. Look at that. Increase the amount of damage it does. What's this level look like? Wait, I played this level in the demo. Oh, it's massive. This level is so much bigger than the other ones. I forgot about that. There we go, put that there. Then we'll like put a laser there. And then a laser there. And then we'll put a flamethrower there. And then like a gun there. There. And I think they come down. I remember them coming down there. We need some here. Like that. Oh, they've got to go down here as well. Ugh. Why am I putting points in missiles? I put a couple in there because that does allow me to do things like automatically. It isn't just I don't have to click constantly. I can do that automatically. Put that there. I don't know if any get there. I think it's a rare chance of them going there, but put one there anyway. Put one there, and then we'll put one like. Just try to see if we can get any of this. So I can put, if I just press click now, it just starts firing. I don't have to do it. I can just put my cursor somewhere and just let it fire. So it is automatic in a sense. Look how much. Oh, you can't see my damage statistics. I just noticed that. I'm keeping that hidden so you can't see them. You can't judge me. Look at this little guy that got through. There's quite a few of them going through now. This one went like, so this one's, I mean, we've still got quite a bit to go. This one, I did much better on this with my first attempt than I expected. I expect so many more to get through. Well, much sooner, I should say. Because look, they've already stopped. They've stopped spawning. I mean, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to survive. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like more of them start showing up. I don't know why it, like, just out of nowhere, it just suddenly gets overwhelmed. There we go. That's good. Let's increase the range of the flamethrowers. Because the flamethrowers are the best, in my opinion. I don't know if they are the actual best, but they are the best in my opinion. And now that flamethrower can cover the entirety of there. And anywhere else? What's doing nothing? I mean, I can see what is actually doing nothing. I can see that the lasers are doing nothing. I could try and find a better place to put the lasers. Down here, I think I need a little bit more. But I don't know where I would move that from unless I move this gun. This machine gun that's down here. Okay. I enjoy this game. It's a quaint game. It's nothing. It's not as exciting. It brings a smile to my face. It's when I feel like it, at least. What is that meant to be? I want to upgrade again. Can I unlock more? More. That's range. That's tower. Oh, I can get an extra flamethrower tower. I can get 2 extra flamethrower towers. Yeah, let's do that. Extra flamethrower towers because flamethrower towers are fun and cool, and I like them. And we will actually replace these machine guns here with the lasers. I'm going to move the machine guns down here, I think, like this. I think that's what I want to do. Actually, I'm going to move this one down here. I'm going to move this machine gun here. And put another flamethrower here. And I will put a flamethrower here as well, just to catch any. Well, up here's doing bad. Maybe I should have I think I should have put the flamethrower here. Next attempt, I put the flamethrower there. Depending on how it looks. The lasers are still useless, but I think might be in a slightly better position. So that flamethrower at the bottom is actually helping now. A little bit. I didn't panic. Wait, stop. Okay. Okay. You. No, actually, I don't think I would have gotten this. No, because there's this big wave here that's coming down, so I wouldn't have gotten this. Yeah, that was not too bad. I think I just need more weapons. I did survive. I survived it. Upgrades. What can I get for that? I can get the cannon. Oh, the cannon might be useful. Tesla coil fires bolts of electricity that arc between nearby enemy orcs. That might be useful. That one wasn't in the demo, so I want to. I want that. I want that because I want to play with it. Oh wait, I can still level some up, can't I? Yeah, I can. Let's get some more gun towers. More gun towers, and I will increase their damage slightly. I can't afford anything else. Nope. Then we'll put the Tesla coil here, I think. Put Tesla coil there. I'm going to put a machine gun here. I'm going to put another machine gun here. And then I'll, since I've put those there, I'm going to focus my attention here. Just hope that the Tesla coil and the 3 extra machine, it is two extra machine guns actually do something. There is only a level 1 Tesla coil, so it might not do much. It doesn't actually look like it's doing much, but don't worry about it. It very. I think my one criticism of the game, though, so far is the music. I understand that maybe paying musicians might be expensive, but having only one song in the game is a little bit numbing. Okay. Dead. Okay. I'm so close to getting this perfected. Upgrades. What did I need to change in that one? I can't remember. Let's increase something. What can I afford to increase? He's Tesling his coil. Get him. Hunt him down. Ban him. Crush his Teslas. Cut his coil off. Let's increase Tesla damage. He's coiling his testes. He's doing that thing where you fold your cock inside yourself. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone's tried to fold their penis away just to, you know, have a look what you'd look like if you didn't have one. Can't hide from me. I, as a fellow man, know what fellow men do. Yeah, you do. Don't worry about it. You can pretend like you have no idea, but I know you do. I get it. I get there is an embarrassment to it. I'm supposed to say whatever comes to my mind, but you can't. I get that. You have an image to uphold. I don't. I made a 37-minute long video about Bubsy. I have no image to uphold. Come on, piss! Why did that one have so much health? Is it something you're too late to understand? Oh, is this how we find out that I've been calling you a guy this whole time, but you've been a 9-foot tall goddess that sits around eating kebabs? Uh, duh, duh. There's nothing stopping a woman from eating a kebab, but just the idea, it doesn't seem like a very ladylike thing to do. If you're calling yourself ladylike and you're eating, 19 kebabs a week, that doesn't sound very ladylike. That sounds very English. And ladylike and English don't go together. I'm sorry. I know that English people are often seen as being posh, but and like ladylike is like an English sounding trait, but it's I don't know. Let's do increase that. Increase that. Okay. We're almost there. I can almost taste it. There we go. I think we recently in the UK may have had another horse meat scandal that just kind of most people ignored. I think there was like traces of horse inside some kebabs. But to be fair, like, first of all, this ain't our first rodeo, no pun intended, with horse meat. And second of all, it's a kebab. Like, what the fuck do you think you're gonna get in it? And the whole point is that it's just a random assortment of meat that's in theory meant to be like sheep, but could be actually anything. When I think of I've never had one, but when I think of kebabs, I don't think of height of culinary perfection. I think of something that is a guilty pleasure that everyone who likes kebabs eats more often than they say they actually do. There we go. I think if you live in the UK, statistically, you've eaten half a horse by the age of 17 anyway, so... So what's one more onto the pile? Let's get the orbital cryo beam, see what that's all about. And we will increase... Oh, we can increase fire damage a bit. There we go. Then I want to... Let's increase the damage with the strafing run. Just a bit. I don't think we really need to. I don't know if the amount of... Oh, this is a level. I don't think that's normal for your mind to go elsewhere when you think, oh, there is different music playing. We got different songs. Okay, do that. Then we'll do that. Can I... How big's the Tesla coil? Can I like put that somewhere? Put that here. Put laser here. And put that like that. And then it can zap up, down, and then down there. Up, down, and all around. I'm gonna want more flamethrowers along here, I think. Got a lot of things going on here, so I'm going to put that there. I'm going to flame here. I'm going to have another... You know, I can treat myself to more flames. We'll put a flamer here. We'll have one here. Can have another one down here, because why not? Go on. We'll have a machine gun pointing up there, and a machine gun pointing up there. Have another machine gun doing that. I have machine gun here, and a flamethrower there. No, we'll have two machine guns here. And we'll have one pointing that way, and then one like there. And then we'll just see what happens. This is as far as I can zoom out, so... Oh, I have the orbital laser. That's the orbital laser, alright. Oh, there is a lot going through down here. They have just completely bypassed any defenses that I had. I'm just trying it again because I want to use the... I want to use that. Let's just do that. There you go. Use it a little bit. It is... Yeah, there is a... We are missing a lot of defenses here. Okay. But I'm getting a lot of points from it. A lot of currency. Max that out because I can. Then I'll get increase the distance of that. I'll do it one more time. Actually, I didn't actually change anything, did I? Yeah, never mind. It wasn't good. There is nothing I can change about this layout that could make it win, so I don't think it really matters. Well, maybe the Orcs do have more health. Yeah. Ah. Okay. I'll do this one again. I'll do it again just so I can get... I know that I can do this one, so... I can use it to gain more things. There you go. Da-da-da. You know what was nice? The Bubsy video did get decent views after all. When I uploaded it for like a day or two, it had 30 views on it, and I was, you know, disappointed but not surprised, you know. But then just it started getting views after a point. I think it's got like 1,600 now. Which in the grand scheme of the YouTube, not very many, but for my channel, it's decent. Got like 80 likes or something. I unfortunately, and I say unfortunately semi-jovially, but I don't know how to pretend to be jovial. Unfortunately, it did also gain me about 22 subscribers, which I feel bad for. I feel bad for those 22 people that might be wanting more content like that, and I don't know how to do it. I haven't got any other ideas to make videos like that. I don't have any ideas for videos full stop, but, you know. The, yeah, it's, I think it's probably plateaued by now. Like, it's still going up a little bit, but it's, like, gently increasing. It's had 2 rapid increases, and then it's gently going up a little bit. Though we have reached the part in the day where if it was going to spike, it would start spiking. Which there is a little bit of I'm looking at the graph, there is a little bit of a thing going up around now, but I don't think it's going to spike as much as it did previously. And it's also done really well because it's got, like, it's always somewhat disappointing when you start putting things into context, but it's good that the watch time is 208 hours more than usual. It's got 1,600 views and 214 watch hours, as well as 23 subscribers. So it's doing well. Oops, wrong button. Am I talking about my blood sugar? Not this time. My blood sugar is probably low, but also still really high because I just consumed too much sugar. But yeah, I feel bad for the people that subscribe to me because, you know, they're not going to get anything. And I also feel bad for the people that watched it. Not because it's like a terrible video. I put a lot of effort into it. But I definitely could have put more into it. And that's I'm kind of like, oh. I kind of feel there's so much that I cut out. And then there's also like some of the comments of people being like, I asked for Bubsy. It's me. I'm the one asking for Bubsy. And I'm like, I wish I'd have known how many people actually wanted Bubsy, because then I could have put it in the scripts. Then I could have made reference to how many people actually want Bubsy. Because right at the end, I'm like, no, there is a people like Bubsy. There's a people like Bubsy theory at the end. But I just used that to be like, people like Bubsy. Look, we got Bubsy 4D. And I don't mention like the fans of Bubsy whatsoever. And then there's also just like a few comments that I've seen that have introduced me to like alternate perspectives on Bubsy 4D, which I'm kind of like, I wish I could have brought that in some way, but I could only have brought that in had I known that at the time, and I just didn't. And so like there's so much about it that I'm like, I wish I would have done it like this instead. So that I kind of feel bad for the people that saw it and liked it. But at the same time, you know, I'm glad that people saw it, and I'm glad that a number of people have liked it. Make a Bubsy 5D video. It's just the Bubsy 4D video, but it's in stereoscopic 3D. You know, I've been meaning to send a link to you, Vispheric, if you're still here, if you can still hear this. Not like in private. This was in the Discord. Don't worry. I mean to send you a link to the final like 2 seconds of the Bubsy video, just saying that that's all you need to watch of it. It would have helped if I wasn't banned from our Bubsy. It would help, but you know, I had to go. I kept sending them. I kept asking them about Bubsy, and they didn't want to talk about it. I want you to know that it's Bubsy with a B, not a G, by the way, Silver. Just in case you misheard. But if you're doing it on purpose, then continue. And if you're not doing it on purpose, now you can. But yeah, the video could have been so much better. But at the same time, like, I can only think it could have been better having made it. I can't think it could be better if I hadn't made it. So I think the fact that I made it and I put it out and I didn't cancel it is enough to be like, yeah, it's alright. Could I hassle the Bugs Bunny community? I could. I don't know if they. I don't know how they'd feel about that. Oh wait, things have already gone through. I don't care about doing it properly. But no, it did, honestly, for the most part, it did make me happy to see the number of people who like Bubsy. Like seeing people be like, I want it, it's me. At first I had a little bit, there was like that brief bit of reaction in me where I was like, oh no, is this going to be like the 7 Days to Die video? But then I was like, no, these are just people that like Bubsy. These people don't hate me, they just like Bubsy. But there was one comment that I did like, which was just someone being like, I put the little heart on it. I was like, I favorited this one. It was just like, it's me. I clicked on this video to say it's me and then leave. And I was like, you know what? I respect that. It could be both. I respect that because I constantly see thumbnails where it's like, you know, is Britain heading for a civil war? And I want to just click on it, say no, and then leave. But I'm not going to do that, so I respect someone that actually did. I should have doubled down on the 7 Days to Die video. I just can't. I would love to. Like, I actually considered it. I did consider it. What I considered doing was just actually, like, getting really big into the game. Like, just not on stream, just off on my own time. Just putting hundreds of hours into the game. Just playing it non-stop. You know, really being like involved in the game so that I could in a year's time just be like, I fucking hate 7 Days to Die. But at the same time, I was like, I can't be bothered to do that. It's so much fucking effort just out of hate. You know, I can't be bothered to do that. And also, like, I actually don't hate 7 Days to Die. I just was disappointed in what the launch was. I just wanted the launch to be, I just was like, I just didn't like that they were like, yeah, it's launched, but it's in beta. And then they also released a second, like another game in the 7 Days universe. And that there was so much about it that just it's like, yeah. Because at the same time, I do regret some of the things that I said in that. A lot of the things that I said in that video just aren't fucking point. They're just not real points. I was just saying them without thinking about them. Like, one of them is like, oh yeah, the game is in this state after 10 years of development, which is like, yeah, 10 years of development to get 7 Days to Die to go from 7 Days to Die to 7 Days to Die 10 years later is pretty shit. But like 10 years to make a game, it's like a lot, but it's not. Like, that's fairly normal for game development in the indie scene. Like, there are a lot of people out there that take ages to make games, you know? And if it taking a long time. Also, at one point, I say something completely stupid that makes no fucking sense. So I'm like, these are developers that have left these big studios that worked on these games, and I implied that these games that they worked on were shit, which they objectively were shit games. But I was like, they're not indie developers, they're big developers. But it's like, no, they are indie developers. That's the whole fucking point. The name is indie developer. They're an indie studio. Just because they came from a big studio previously doesn't make them not indie developers. There's so much wrong with the video. That's another reason why I just hate the video, is that the people are right to hate it. The people are right to hate me in the video, because the video is shit. I was in the beginning of an arc that I nibbed in the bud right then, which was fucking my hatred arc. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I almost did it with Crab Souls before I came to my senses. I'm like, no, I actually like this game. What am I complaining about? I believe, like, my main criticism of 7 Days to Die, the release, going from beta or going from alpha into release, my main criticism is still there. And my criticisms of it now are still that, you know, it's got microtransactions and stuff in it. The game is 10 years old and they've just put microtransactions in. They put cosmetic updates into it. They've done this, they give like a battle pass in it or something. And they went from alpha to release, but the release wasn't a release, it was a beta. They just didn't say beta. Those sort of things are, you know, those are the things that I still think back on. I'm like, yeah, that's not good. They shouldn't do that. And that they've spent over 10 years in alpha and they're just skipping beta. That, I'm fully, like, I agree with that still. But so much of the video itself was just shit. Sometimes in cryptocurrency and access, I've service game communities where people have oodles of toxic positivity because their money enjoyment depends on the game coin doing well, so you can't get honest opinions from people. But that could be true to some extent, but I think people genuinely like 7 Days to Die, like, because even though it's bad in places, it's not a bad, like, it's weird to say not a bad game, but it is in a sense, you know. I think people like it, and for the most part, it's just one of those. It's just like, I liked it. I put hundreds of hours into the game. And I think that I think that the main problem with that video is that, well, not the main problem, but I think a problem with that video is not necessarily that people hated me. It's that I gave my opinion in a hateable way. I didn't go... I didn't make it clear that I don't necessarily hate the game. I was also just in a bad mood. Like, I was trying to be angry for the sake of it. And I wasn't doing it well. And so I would put out... I was... If I'd have made it clear that I actually have put time into this game and I like the game, if I'd have made that clear that I was... I know it sounds a lot like how in the fucking... In... the what is it, Folding Ideas video about GameStop, how they all have their little DDs, they have their due diligence, and they all have to point out, or is it DD or is it line goes up, or maybe it's the crypto, maybe it's the other crypto one, I can't remember, but in one of them they all have to state that they agree with the community as a whole. Maybe it's just like that, and I'm like, no, I have to agree with them as a whole before I state my opinion. But at the same time, like, yeah, no, I think that I think that people who have played that game, because there were people in the comments of that video that were like, yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that this game has got a lot of problems. There were people that knew that. And if I had made it very clear that I was like, no, I like the game. I think it's cool. I just think that this is a problem. And I believe that, you know, I said in the Discord that, like, oh yeah, I'm telling people that they deserve better, but like, I don't. And nowhere do that do I tell them that they deserve better. I just walk in there and start pointing at a game they like and say it's shit in it. So of course they're gonna get annoyed, especially when I don't make any attempts to engage with the game. If I was a 7 Days to Die creator, then I would have more clout to turn around and say this is why it's bad, but I'm not. And the stream that I did playing the game, I was just saying how bad the game is. I was just being negative for the sake of it being entertaining. And the fact that during that video I was still trying to advertise my stream during it, and so I would just put random clips from the stream in where I'm shitting on the game. People would just think that I'm a tourist that have come over to tell them that their game is shit, when in reality it's like, I am a tourist, but I just didn't put the effort in to engage with the game properly. So no wonder people would be like, no, you've only got 100 hours in the game, how dare you say it's bad, you've barely played it at all. While simultaneously people would then say, like, you've clearly put enough time into the game, why are you hating it? But I never thought the game was necessarily shit. I just thought it was shit. I think I haven't played it since that video, so I can't say what it's like now. But I definitely have seen things like whenever I've checked the updates, I've seen updates that I don't like that's an update that they've had. Like seeing that ever since it entered version 1, or at least version B1, I've not liked that they've added like DLC, like cosmetic DLC. That's something that I saw and I was like, I don't like that. As much as I spend a lot of my time being negative about games, I end every stream that I spend complaining about games. I end that stream, I get to the end, and I finish the stream, and I'm like, I don't think that. I don't really think those things anymore. It's like, there was one of the Stone Machia streams, I spent ages complaining about the game, but then like by the end of the stream I was like, I don't think any of those things anymore. Like I just sat and played this game and I liked it. And like with the case of with 7 Days to Die, like these people like playing the games. Who am I to come in and tell them they're wrong for liking it? I mean, I will, but it's like my opinion. They shouldn't take my opinion seriously. But they will, because that's just how humans work. It's funny how we've gotten to a point where having a YouTube video, no matter who you are, puts a level of authority on you. Even if you have no authority, just making a YouTube video puts you at the same level of authority as anyone else. Just by virtue of being on the same platform. I can say I hate a game, and to them it could be exactly the same as Mr. Beast coming up on stage and saying that he hates their favorite game. They don't think I'm Mr. Beast, but I'm someone on the same platform as Mr. Beast, therefore they're gonna get angry at it. Bup, bup. But to be fair, I do the same thing all the time, so it's not like I can sit here and pretend to be better than anyone. I get angry at people on the internet all the time, and sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between what's bait and what's not. Hate the Mr. Beast chocolate bar. I've never had it, but I am better than everyone. Oh, thank you, Maya. I will put that in my ego stroking bank. You know what? I'm the best, and my opinion is much better than anyone else's. I am gonna crank my soldier boy. There's a comma in between soldier and boy in my words. I increase my damage of that, which I haven't done yet. Shinji, crank that soldier boy. Shinji, crank that Euphrates River. Dude, dude. Shinji, I'm gonna go unconscious for 25 minutes. You know what time it is. I'm gonna show Evangelion to my heavily Christian dad, see what he thinks. Da, da. Da, da. Alright. I'm gonna do this one more time. Shinji, go to the therapist's office. Surely Nerve has like a counselor on staff. You know what? It was like the 90s Japan. No, they didn't. They probably wouldn't now. I don't know anything about Japan and the mental health awareness, but it just doesn't strike me as the sort of place where it's big. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Okay. That's, what was I thinking about doing? I can't remember what I was thinking about doing with that. I want to increase Tesla range. No, I can't, not yet. Let's just do that. Do that, and then we'll increase the laser tower's damage, and we will increase its speed. Okay, I'm done for the day because I'm tired. So, thank you for watching. I will be back to play this again, I think. Probably. I'll probably be I might play this next stream. I'll see how I feel. I do want to play more of this though. I does have it has a hook in me. We're not raiding anyone. Just go and find a streamer to watch. I refuse to engage in Twitch. I don't want... I refuse. I'm greedy. I'm not raiding Mr. Beast. I'm leaving you so that you can go and find people that you want to watch. Well, who else you want to watch, you know. But, yeah, I'm going. So, thank you for watching. Take care.
I want to see cock.
No. Bye-bye.